padaya Krishna prasthaya bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatade Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari,
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari,
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari, Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tera Vanachari, Yamuna Tera Vanachari, Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन गोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जयो राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधे जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय श्रीनिवास गोविंद श्रीनिवास गोविंद श्रीनिवास गोविंद जय श्रीनिवास गोविंद जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद शिवाल परमहंस परिव्राचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडराचार्य से द होल वर्ल्ड जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय। वृंददेव तुलसी महारानी की जय। प्रेम जगो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसति गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastya Prayeshu Abhadreshu नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2 and text number 11. विभूषितं मेखलया अंगुलीयकैर् विभूषितं मेखलया अंगुलीकैर् महादने निपुरकङ्कणादिभिः महादने निपुरकङ्कणादिभिः स्निग्धामलाकुञ्चितनीलकुन्तले स्निग्धामलाकुञ्चितनीलकुन्तले विरोचमानानहासपेशलम् विरोचमानानहासपेशलम् मेघला अंगुलीके महादने निपुरकङ्कणादिभिः स्निग्धामलाकुञ्चितनीलकुन्तले विरोचमानाननासपेशलम् Vibhushitam, well decorated, Mekhalaya, with an ornamental wreath about the waist, Angulike, by finger rings, Mahadane, all highly valuable, Nipura, ringing leglets, Kankana Adibihi, also by bangles, Snigdha, slick, Amala, spotless, Akunchita, curling, Neela, bluish, Kuntale, hair, Virochamana, very pleasing, Anana, face, Asa, smile, Peshalam, beautiful. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. He is well decorated with an ornamental wreath about his waist and rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers. His leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair curling with a bluish tint and his beautiful smiling face are all very pleasing. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the most beautiful person among all others. And Srila Shukadeva Goswami describes every part of his transcendental beauty, one after another, in order to teach the impersonalist that the personality of Godhead is not an imagination by the devotee for facility of worship, but he is the Supreme Person in fact and figure. The impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth is but his radiation, as the sun rays are but radiations from the sun. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakhyurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Please repeat the translation. He is well decorated with an ornamental wreath about his waist and rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers. His leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair, curling with a bluish tint, and his beautiful smiling face are all very pleasing. So here is a description of the transcendental form of the Lord, who is situated in everybody's heart. So Shukdev Goswami is here saying how the Lord is decorated with an ornamental wreath around his waist, like a waist belt, and his fingers are having rings studded with valuable jewels, and he's having leglets and bangles, and he has a very beautiful smile which is very pleasing. So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport a very, very significant point is that if the Lord is not having an eternal form, if God does not have a form, why is Shukdev Goswami describing the beauty of the Lord in minute details, including the ornaments that he is wearing? Normally, there is a school of philosophers who say that absolute truth is not a person, absolute truth is formless, nameless, and they give an explanation why in the Bhagavatam and in Puranas there is description of Vishnu's forms. Their explanation, of course, is not acceptable in any form to the Vaishnavas and does not make sense, as Prabhupada is explaining in this purport. Their explanation is why these descriptions are given, so that to facilitate, to concentrate your mind on a particular person, and that they call it as Bhakti Yoga, as a process. And when you control your mind on your Ishta Devata, it could be anybody with hands, legs, etc., form. And then one would finally, when he successfully controlled his mind, there is no need of form, there is no need of name. You merge into the impersonal Brahman, impersonal, nameless, formless. This is a very, those who are jnanis or those who are only interested in jnana, then they usually fall into this trap. Especially nowadays, with the advancement in science, everyone has a tendency to think that the ascending process of knowledge, there is an ascending process and descending process of knowledge. Through the ascending process of knowledge, man has made so much advancement in the last 200 years. He has understood his environment. How he has understood? What is the proof? Proof is that, see, how much he has understood. Electricity, this, that, he has understood. That is how all this, result of all this invention is, the world has changed. In the last 200 years, the world has changed. We got electricity, we got, mobiles, we got everything, television, all these kind of things were not there 200 years back. How did it come about? Because scientists have understood nature, and having understood nature, they are now able to exploit. So therefore, what the scientists what scientists say must be true. So they will find what is the cause of all causes. The science is the answer for everything. And all these things that is in the Shastra, these Bhagavatam, etc., they are all stories. They are nothing to do with truth, absolute truth. How the material world is come about, it's nothing to do with the truth. That is what the most of the population, even the educated population, they think like that. Because within our knowledge, we do not know any person. With our senses, we do not see any person who is known to have created this world. We do not know of any person who is not limited by form, limited by time, limited by space and time. We have no experience of a person who can be in this room, that place, this place, all simultaneously. We do not have any knowledge to the ascending process. So therefore, when you cannot see anybody like that, what is the idea? God cannot be a person. God is a Shakti. God is a power. God is a power. This is what many people tend to think about God. Even ordinary people, they tend to think of a power. They don't. Even the scientists, they think of an impersonal cause. Ordinary folks who are not scientists, they don't think of even impersonal cause in that sense. They think of a power. How much one can be misled? It is only by the mercy of the Lord Himself, who is in the heart of the devotee, that he can discover God is a person. The Lord is seated in every one of our hearts as a Paramatma, and He guides the living entity towards His understanding through a spiritual master. He takes the devotee to a spiritual master like Prabhupada, and Prabhupada explains and the transcendental knowledge about God, His form, His activities, His existence, His address, everything He reveals. This is Krishna consciousness. We know, just like if every one of you have an address, temporary address, very accurately, so and so. In the same way, God also has an address. He has an address. God also has, you have activities, God also has activities. You have a face, you can smile. God has a face, He can also smile. We are created by God, so everything that we have must be in Him also. You have an intelligence and you speak languages. God also has, He's created you. So He can speak in unlimited languages, limitless languages. Any number of languages. That's why our country is so rich with so many languages. You see, West, only one language. Entire America, one language, English. In India, we have more than 500 languages. Even small community. The other day I was reading in the newspaper. Some of the, languages are spoken only by, 5,000 people. They are trying to preserve that language. Because it will get lost. Once these 5,000 people stop, then that language gets lost. It's a cultural diversity. So many languages are there. So, if human beings can have 500 languages here, the Lord has created all this. He's got unlimited languages. He can understand all the languages. And the highest language is the language of the heart. That language, the language of heart, your feelings, that language he understands, that's what he's catching now. Whatever language you may be speaking, but the Lord is catching the language of the heart. Bhavagrahi Janardana. He catches the feelings of the devotees. And he directs the living entity. I remember when I was in the college at that time, I was asking this question, what is the cause of all causes? Because I was very much interested in science. So science is they are going into the matter, this is not what you see, inside there is atom. Atoms are all creating this table. Is that so? We got very excited, science, in school days when you see. Then the atoms further that scientists have discovered, it's made of a proton, neutron, electrons. So deep. So somewhere go deep, they will find what is the final cause of everything, they will find. So science, so I got very interested in physics. And what the physicists are trying to do, going deeper into the atom, trying to find out. And I was hoping that there will be cause of all causes there. That is where the cause, that's where you can find cause of all causes. Then somewhere I read, the very same scientists are saying, no, this is going on and on. First they said proton, neutron, electron, then they went into proton split into another few, neutron split into another two, and then each of them they split into more anu particles. So now today there are more than 150, 200 particles. And each particle they do not know what is going on, whether it will split further or... So they have lost hope. Most of them have lost hope and they create a theory. Ultimately what happens? It is endless, infinite, just like sky is infinite. They cannot see the end of the sky. Nobody can estimate the end of the sky. No scientist can estimate the end of the sky. So in the same way, deep inside also, infinitesimally they go, they are saying that internal sky also is endless. This is how God has created to bewilder everybody. So scientists cannot find out. Then I thought, okay, maybe the philosophers know what is the truth. Physics, they can't. Science cannot. Maybe philosophers know what the truth is. Then I started reading so many philosophies, Western philosophers. For a long time, for 1 year, I was reading lot of in the library, lot of philosophy books, different philosophies, Western philosophies. One very big Western philosopher was Bertrand Russell, very big philosopher. Whole life he was, and the Western world recognized him as a big philosopher. And then one day, one of his books, in the last paragraph of one of his books I read, Russell said that paragraph was written on his deathbed. He is about to die. So he said, if I get another chance to live, I will never touch philosophy, because after the whole life of philosophizing, now I am lying about to die. I do not know what I see here is truth or lies. Is reality or illusion? I do not know. So in whole life and such a intricate philosophical thinking, analytical thinking about this, about life, this, everything, his books, his writings. Then this is his conclusion. I thought, what is the use? What is the use of whole life thinking like this? At the meantime, while I was reading all this philosophy of Western philosophies, and then after Western philosophy, I thought, okay, Indian philosophers, there are a lot of impersonalist philosophers. So, I don't want to mention names. Lot of those things also, because they're jnanic, they're all jnanic, they give you analysis, why, what, everything, they go on deeply analyzing material nature, three gunas, everything they start analyzing, and they explain all those things. So this mind gets interested, oh here, this is, because it does explain some things, therefore we get bewildered. Just like science explains something, that is why we are able to convert it into technology. It is some truth, it is partial truth. So we get bewildered, oh, then we get faith in that. Exactly in the same way, what the impersonalists say also, some truth, so we fall for it. So like that, when I was reading, it is in my college, the whole philosophy section is a long section. From here, let's say, to the end of the hall. Both sides there are shelves full of philosophy. So at the end of that row, every day I walk like that in the evening. Pick up one book, I sit and read that. Till 10 in the night I read the library itself. So while I was searching all in the beginning itself, first time when I was walking, the most beautiful books on the shelf was Prabhupada's books. You see how these covers are like this. So like this, 30 volumes lined up, Krishna book, everything in that. So in the beginning, when I went, I started, in that series of, in that shelf where I was going in that row, and I saw anybody, whether you're interested in philosophy or whether you're interested in whatever it is so beautiful, very beautiful. So they were like this. So I said, what is this? Let me take out. Looks very nice, best books. So I took out a book. And then on that, there was Narayana sitting on Garuda. Beautiful. But look at my mind. My mind is saying, I want to find what is the cause of all causes. This is all story. Put it back. I did not read Prabhupada's books. I touched this book. I did not read. So after that 1 year I am reading all the other books. Every day while going up and down, I see these books. But stories. So these books for me have no value. All others, big speculation. Everything, analyzing this, that, everything. That's interesting for the mind. That, it's maybe, here may be the truth, here may be the truth. You analyze. But this, I neglected. Went on like that. Then, trying to find out what the truth is, after reading so many of these, even Indian philosophers, whether Krishnamurti or Vivekananda or any Rajneesh or any, all of them, they are not talking about God at all. They are not talking about God. And I was wondering why they are not talking about God. Their philosophy means they should be talking about God. They are not talking about God. Then one day I realized that what their philosophy is, there does not exist God. So why should they talk about God? Their philosophy is that there does not exist God. Impersonalism. Then why they are worshipping? Why Ramakrishna mission or any, they also have Krishna temples, they also have Shiva temples, Rama temples. They have, in their mathas they have. How they are having? Why they are having? Because actually they are not believing in God. Then I became, curious. What is it? Because I did read. Why I knew, why I concluded that they don't believe in God. See, these are all very, very difficult to find out. Somehow by Krishna's arrangement, one book of Vivekananda, he said one line, you will be closer to truth by playing a good football game than by reading Bhagavad Gita. He said. So, you are rational in your thinking. So you get excited. Easier to reach God through a football than through Bhagavad Gita. And he was very vociferous. Practically he was telling, nothing will happen. You kick the idols in the temple. So, what is he supposed to be? When you say Vivekananda, means you think, they're all God's people. And in Indian culture, it's like that. How is he saying that? Then he gives the explanation. Why so? Because there is nothing in the idol. It is just stone. Why? Then why you are worshipping? Because you give power to it and the power comes back to you. I think many of us are also contaminated by this idea. There is no power in the temple. You give power, power comes back. More number of people visit the temple, more power for the deities. It is actually the other way. Deities are so powerful, more people are coming. Now they say, more people are going, therefore there is more power for the deities. So they don't believe in God. So then I got frustrated. Arey Baba, so nobody knows the truth. Nobody knows the truth. No answer to life, who I am, where I am, come from, what it is, nothing, nobody knows. So what is the use of living? I live or I don't live, doesn't make any difference. Look at the number of stars in the sky, what is the meaning for life? Whether I live or die, who cares? The stars don't cry, don't care, people don't care. What is So let me commit suicide. I was ready to commit suicide. So next day morning I decided to jump off the main building in the IIT. There were 6 floors. Because so much frustrated, no meaning, life, I don't know what is all this going on. Nobody is able to explain. Big philosopher, Russell said like this, the guy doesn't know what is it after his whole life. And Vivekananda is saying like that, my father, mother, they all told you worship God. Now the Indian sadhu, the big saint in India, he is saying kick the idols in the temple, nothing will happen. But when you were small, it excited you because you are always rebellious against, what the parents say. Go to temple, worship. Suddenly you found a different master. Hey, I won't come to temple and all. You all go. I am a rationalist. I am thinker. Those are all superstitious. Old, traditional, superstitious people, you father and mother. You go to temple. I will not go. There is no God and all. Who said? Vivekananda said. No God and all. You don't understand real Indian philosophy. So I was about to, next day I had planned in the evening. The afternoon I had planned. That day morning I decided. Tomorrow morning, early morning, before everybody, 7:30, it should become a big news in this institute. After all, you are 23 years old. Your mind is like that. So I was about to jump off the main building, all planned. And as soon as in my mind I decided I'm going to finish my life, so I thought, okay, I became very peaceful. Because so many years searching, truth, very intensely, what is, and it is called existential, now I know, it is called existential frustration. The mind does not find meaning for existence. There is no meaning for existence. Existential frustration. Existence has no meaning means you want to kill existence. So, intellectual frustration. There is no answers for anything. So early morning, next day morning, I am supposed to commit suicide. So in the evening, previous day evening, as usual, I go to the library. And then, as usual, right from this end, I started walking. Useless. Nothing. None of them know what the truth is. None of them know what the truth is. Like that. And then I saw this. And then I thought, anyway, search has ended. Let me read some stories today. Relax. Struggle has ended. Let me read some stories today. So then I was seeing all these books, all one by one I took all these things. Then I came to a Krishna book. Krishna book is a big book. Oh, Krishna, story, this, because you see, usually story books are big for children and big words, story. So that Krishna book is a big print with big letters, big book. So I took that Krishna book and then took it, went to the table and started, opened one page, sat there like usual every day. Usually from around 6:30 to 10 I sit and read. I opened the book. The chapter was called Prayers by Personified Vedas. So I was reading. 1 page, 2 page. Finishing 2nd page, I turned to 3rd page, finished. I was Just like some bomb, one after the other bomb is hitting you. Boom, 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 boom. I'm shocked. Then finally, at the end of third page, I was crying. Tears were flowing in my eyes. Why? Who? This person knows who is God. The writer, this writer knows who is God. Everybody in that shelf, they are all speculating. And here is a Vedic definition of Bhagavan. Definition of Sarvakarana Karanam, Ishvara, Parama Krishna, Supreme Controller. And there the thing that struck me most was how Prabhupada explains about a transcendental form, transcendental person, limitless person, which we do not know of. In our experience, we do not know a person who is limitless, who can have limitless forms, who is beyond time and space and substance. We do not know of such a person. Not some human being is God. He is defining there is a person like that. And that person, that is called Vishnu Tattva, different from us, Jiva Tattva. There is a Vishnu Tattva. It is another principle of existence, fundamental principle of existence, who is seated in everybody's heart. You are never alone. Along with you, that Lord is there in everybody's heart, and because of Him this world exists, because of Him that we see, touch, smell, taste, everything. It was shocking. So much with my own tiny brain I was speculating. Even the idea that God could be a person different from the ordinary persons. God could be a person who is different from ordinary persons. Didn't strike. Why? Because you don't think, because persons cannot be God. Because every person is limited. How can person be God? But you didn't think of a supreme person with limitless person. You did not think. Even if I thought little, sometimes I used to think, if there is a God, and God has created me, and I have intelligence to ask who is God, God, where are you? That God who created me should be able to listen to my question. Right? That's simple logic. But then by reading all these books, that connection with God also gone. Otherwise, in your natural way, with your common sense, you are thinking, God should, if I pray, God should be able to listen because He has created me. But then when you read all these impersonal philosophies, you start even, okay, where is this all? There is no God, there is no creation, nothing, gone. So what is the signifying, most significant understanding? This is very important to understand how we say God is a person. We do not say that God is an ordinary person like us, or even a person like us, or even a super person like us. He is not. Our scriptures put forth another tattva, another principle. Even though in quality God is one with us, or we are one like God, God is different. Why is different? He is limitless person. He is not. The Vishnu Tattva, the Vishnu forms, they are not temporary. They are eternal. They have no beginning. They have no end. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, Brahma Samhita says. So this is, discovering God means discovering this new tattva. We have discovered enough Jiva tattva. Everywhere we are seeing living entity, left, right, center. Isn't it? So many people, so many germs in the hand, the mouth, all living entities. Enough of them. But we are not seeing along with them there is another person in another dimension, transcendental dimension, beyond this material dimension. So, there is a person. Prabhupada explains, we are God-like. We are sample God. We are sample God. Sample means what? If somebody is ordering, 5 tons of wheat, they'll say, I'll send you sample. Will he send 5 tons? No. Little. So similarly, we are sample God. Means, whatever God's quality is, 5 tons, 100 tons, million tons, be small. That means, by understanding, I can think, God can think. My thinking capacity is little, God's thinking capacity is limitless. You cannot say this much, this much you cannot say. Best word to use is limitless. When you say unlimited also, it's not good enough. Limitless means thinking. I can feel. We all can feel. God can feel limitless. I can will. God can will limitless. Even in ordinary day-to-day affairs, if you say, if you are a big manager, decision has to be taken. 2-3 people will come, sir, in this department. Okay, I give you decision here. Then after finishing him, only next man can come. I'll give you decision here. Willing. Right? You cannot understand God's willing. Limitless willing. That limitless action. In fact, it is because of His limitless willing this world is moving. Not a blade of grass will move without His sanction. He is willing, seated in our heart. So everything is moving in this world due to His limitless willing. We have a form. God has a limitless form. God has limitless forms. Our form is limited. Our form has a beginning, has an end. Our means it's not really our spiritual form. Now we are talking about, now we'll go. Do we also have a limit, a beginningless eternal form? Yes, we have. Because we do not recognize God, because we do not recognize our relationship with God as a servant, therefore the material world is created as a field where we all can take a body of material nature. A body made up of matter, Panchabhuta. And this Panchabhuta body is having a beginning as an end. We all know. We are born and we die. This is not our form. We have, inside this body is a soul, and soul has a form. Soul has a form, but we cannot know now, because just like in a seed, in a banyan seed, the whole banyan tree is there. The form of the banyan tree is there. And it is in the seed. Seed is a seed, very small. Similarly, the Atma is in the seed. Our form is in the seed form. We cannot understand our form now. But we do have a form. Unless we experience, unless we practice devotional service, unless we develop our bhavas, our original feeling for Krishna, that form will not come out. Our goal in life is to bring out our Nitya Rupa, eternal form. And that Nitya Rupa is beautiful. Everybody and everything in the spiritual world is beautiful, in the eternal world is beautiful. They are all very beautiful. Our form, very beautiful. The idea of beauty in this world is coming because there is absolute beauty in that dimension, in the spiritual world. That's why we got the idea of beauty. Otherwise, where is beauty in this flesh? Why do we see beauty in the flesh, bone, mucus, urine, stool? This bag, this body is a bag of all these things. When you appreciate beauty in the human being, in the material world, you never think, I am appreciating a bag of flesh, mucus, bone, urine, stool. This is truth, no? When we hear also we feel, I don't want to think of myself as bag of, all these things. Nobody wants to. Why? Because he is not that. He is not that. Your thinking is correct. I cannot be this. I cannot be this. How can I be this? I am thinking. I am feeling. I am willing. This flesh is not speaking. This flesh is not thinking. This flesh is not feeling. I am feeling. I am different from this body. So the whole idea of, in the Bhagavatam it says, Arupa Rupi. The Lord is Arupa Rupi. It doesn't stop by saying Lord is Arupa. Because in the material world, whatever Rupa we know is coming from flesh, matter, Panchabhuta only has God. Everything coming from Panchabhuta. So first, God is described as Arupa. Means he is not made up, he is not a Rupa like material Rupa. Arupa Rupi. Oh, he has got Rupa. He has got a Rupa which is not material form. And this material form and the material names, activities, everything in this material world, that is why we say this world is a world of illusion. Temporarily we are given a form, temporarily the material nature, the Prakriti gives us a form. Prakriti makes us be, to be born in a family. Temporarily we get relatives, father, mother, everything. Temporarily we enjoy everything, the rasa, the relationship with everybody, father, mother, husband, wife, children. And we all, when everybody feels very natural in a family life, to relationship, everything, we feel very natural to be there. Because it is our natural to be family members. It is very natural for us to be people. It is very natural to have relationship. It's very natural for us to love. It's very natural for the Atma. It is very natural for the Atma. It's so natural for the Atma, when material energy actually acts on it, is continuously acting, we get disturbed. Just like how, first time in your life, when you are young, when you are growing, sometime in your life you realize, oh, I will also become like my tata, my ajji. Oh, it hits you. Because you don't want. You don't want to grow old. Because in your young, when you're seeing, oh, so nice I am. Oh, that's nice. What face I have and what hair I have, and all my skin is so, no wrinkles, nothing, but look at ajji. It doesn't strike. Maya is like that. We go on. But sometimes it strikes. When it strikes, when you come and sit for classes like this, it strikes you. Yes, some young kids must be here. They simply must have joined the parents to come for this class. But this it will strike. One day you will become like your grandmother. Your skin also will become like that. You will become like your grandfather. All your hair all will go grey. It strikes every one of us sometime. But when we are kids, we don't strike. It doesn't strike us. Because it's very natural for us to be kids. Because in the spiritual world, we are all kids. We are eternally kids. We don't grow old. So when old age starts, problem is there. And another interesting thing. When we are kids, we don't bother about existence of life. Existence. How I'll eat, how I'll sleep, everything. No. Parents are taking care. You never think. Sometimes when you're around, slowly when you're in the society, it strikes you. This guy they keep telling, he got job, now he got married, now he got, so you hear all these things. Then you'll say, one day I also have to get out. My father and mother won't take care. I will also have to. It strikes you that time. But till then, when you were a kid, you didn't bother. Mother used to give everything, go sit in the table, eat, enjoy. Why? And changing that becomes a very big disturbance. Why? Because that is our natural life. In the spiritual world, you don't have to work. You don't have to work. How life would be in the spiritual world, you can understand if you had a very good, young, well taken care of family, kids, very nicely enjoyed. Of course, nowadays even kids cannot because they have to study. Kids' life also is spoiled. At least in our days and all, there were not so many books. They carry so many books, so much. Come back, homework, everything, right? Life is enjoyable. For kids also, life is very tough now. So they also, right from childhood, they get realization of the material world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. But our actual life in the spiritual world, this is called struggle for existence. Everybody is made to struggle to exist in this life. That is the reason in Krishna Consciousness movement, in the temple life, you tell devotees, they all join full time. Main thing is don't think tomorrow where you'll eat, where you'll sleep, all these things. Why? Because that is a Vaikuntha mood, Vaikuntha life. And Krishna takes care. Prabhupada told that. Prabhupada has written in one conversation. We are not working anywhere. We are serving God. But still, we are eating nicely. We are sleeping. Everything Krishna is providing. Krishna is taking care. Isn't it? People sometimes are very surprised and shocked. How you will know now this temple, in order to run, you need so much money, so much of, ashram, you all have to eat, hospital, this, that, so much expenditure will be there. Some arrangement, some big brain must have thought, temple president, the president must have arranged all this money so that everybody is very peaceful. Nothing. He also doesn't think. We are simply chanting, dancing, feasting, philosophizing, preaching, anandam. That's all. Now you may say, why only, temple devotee? You can, in my house also you can I cannot not have that luxury, Prabhu. Yes, you can have the luxury also. Promise you. Wake up in the morning, have Mangalarti, have Guru Puja, have Tulasi Puja, do your japa, read Bhagavatam. Afterwards you will see by about 8 o'clock. Of course you don't have to do this long because mother has to cook, children have to go to school, so many things will be there. But you can compress everything. That is why we have made a CD where in 45 minutes Mangalarti to Tulsi Puja to Guru Puja to last Tulsi Puja, Guru Puja, Darshan, Guru Puja, all items are there within 45 minutes. Isn't it, Stoka? 45 minutes. How many of you have that CD? Oh, it is so sad. You don't even know about it. Huh? Huh? Okay, it is available. Please buy that. If you want to live like us, no chinta, please buy that. And get up in the morning. And it's a condensed program. You attend, you put that CD on, join that. Do arati, everything yourself, even if you are one person, so others don't listen, children don't listen, husband don't listen, or husband listen, wife doesn't matter. That CD is there, you go, you do your work. Your house will become like Vaikuntha. And then you don't have to think what will happen to your life. Your life will be driven by Krishna. Prabhupada and Krishna will drive you. Don't worry, will be driven 100%. Because this is the power of Sankirtana. That morning what you do will lead you for rest of the day. What decision you should take, what you should do, everything the Lord will take care. Chant your do that 45 minutes and japa. And of course, whatever you eat, you should eat prasadam. So 3 things, your life is successful. Wake up in the Brahma Muhurta time, do this, all this program, sit and do nice japa. Japa, ladies morning they have to cook and all these things, do few rounds, 6, 7, 8 rounds, morning itself, something you have to do. Because good chanting you get in the morning. Rest in the, after your morning course you can finish it also. But if you do that, I'll give you the example of how your life will be just like when the night, if you're taking a long journey in the highway, then you're driving. When you're driving, your headlights are on. So each time you're steering according to because the headlight is showing. How much the headlight will show? The headlight will show from, when you start, let's say, drive from Chennai. Will your headlight show at one stretch, the entire path from here to Chennai? It will not show. Only 200 meters. Isn't it? Then when you finish the 200 meters, another 200 meters the headlight will show. Then you go there, another 200 meters headlight will show. Like that your entire journey you have made in 200 meter you are steering. Similarly, that 200 meter for you is one day. Your headlights are your morning program. You do your morning program, the whole day how to turn your steering, Krishna will guide you. Next day again you put your headlights on. See, because this is a world of darkness. Headlights are required. World of darkness. The samsara is dark, full of confusion. To take this decision, to do this or not to do this. In your material decisions, Krishna will guide you. In your life, how to lead your life. So your entire journey of life will be successful if you design your one day. Just imagine, your entire life problem is People say spiritual life complicated. No. Everything reduced to how you design your one day. See, what great, how easy it has been made for us. And then, that one day, do it every day, that morning, charging your life with association with the holy name, association with the Bhagavatam. Read at least Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. After your japa, read one verse of Bhagavatam, one purport, you read it, routine. Life will be blissful, life will change. What happens? Devotees start chanting Hare Krishna and then chanting 16 rounds. And those who are outside, congregation, outside the temple. And then it's all, life is very scattered. Sometimes japa, and there is no Mangalarti and all these things. No, Prabhupada. You want to become a follower of Prabhupada, you want to become a disciple of Prabhupada, you want to follow his discipline. Do this at home. And then, all the family members are joining together, you will be shocked. The whole family's karma will change. Whole family's karma will change, 100%. All bad karma will be just one sample will come and go. Not that, in our temple we are given our lives to Prabhupada and Krishna and we are engaging in Krishna's service, but still we get disease, we get problems, we have to go to doctor, but these are all samples, including we have to go to court. All bad karma comes. This, all sample comes. But actually, it's only a little sample is, while doing our service, whatever our past life, some karma is there, all will get burnt out while doing the service to the Lord, including going to court, sometimes even going to jail. So many devotees have gone to jail, while distributing books in America, they catch them, they put them in the jail. Because they are violating the law. So many devotees have gone to jail. So many devotees in Russia, when before the Russia broke down, USSR broke down, that time so many devotees got arrested, they were put in Siberian jail and all those things. Now they were chanting 16 rounds, everything. Why they got into jail? Because, you see, Krishna wants to finish your karma in this life and wants to take you back to Godhead. So your karma is, for instance, your karma may be so bad that you are supposed to suffer in hells which are worse than Siberian jails for hundreds of lives, thousands of lives. So Krishna is calculating 1000 lives. My devotee is chanting 16 rounds. Simple, one life, let him go to Siberian jail. And the devotee has faith. He says, devotee is chanting Hare Krishna. If somehow instead of chanting Hare Krishna I go to jail, there is something, doesn't matter. Krishna is taking care. Krishna never leaves his devotees. Name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna doesn't leave his devotees. He does not let down. So he goes, and then his life is over. Then he goes back to Godhead. So in spite of doing all these things, some troubles come. Now don't make your judgment. Oh, all I'm doing, but still I got this problem, that problem, that problem. Krishna is in control. Little sample problem is coming. According to my karma, I am supposed to be squeezed out. But this one sample is coming. So, never, even though you are chanting, even though you are following everything, still trouble will come because you are still not in Vaikuntha. You are still in the material world. But you are like, just like in, you are in the veranda of Vaikuntha. Yet to enter. So you have got the influence of Vaikuntha as well as influence of samsara is there. So the influence of samsara, now how much the influence of samsara will be reduced depends upon how nicely you chant your 16 rounds. If you chant 16 rounds, if you follow the Mangalarti, everything, read Bhagavatam every day, guaranteed that you will be in the veranda of Vaikuntha. You are shifted. Now, what about life in veranda depends on how nicely you do see, because this is a tathastha, in between position. How nicely we take the influence of Krishna Nama. How nicely, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like that, nicely hearing, chanting, everything, how nicely you do. The influence of Vishnu, Krishna, that tattva, the Lord in your heart, that tattva is more, no karma can stand. All will just go away, will vanish. So therefore, Prabhupada has given us a formula in life, how to become happy even in this life, even in this body, you can have. Because the process of bhakti is so powerful, is higher than highest punya. Why do we suffer? We suffer because of purva papa. Man suffers because of purva papa. And you are chanting and doing all these things, it is the highest punya. Balances out. Even materially it balances out. Life in this world will become peaceful, will become liberated. One does not become liberated because one is bonded. Liberation and bondage. You chant nicely, hear nicely, every day follow everything, then slowly, day after day, day after day, day after day, if you do, then our consciousness becomes Krishna conscious. Krishna, you cannot stop, you cannot live without thinking of Krishna. You're integral part of Krishna, you're part and parcel of Krishna. Now we forget Krishna and we have to take trouble to remember Krishna. But 20, 30, 40 years you do this sadhana, you don't have to struggle to remember Krishna, you have to struggle to forget Krishna. That is the state. And that is what Prabhupada is promising us. That is the life that Prabhupada has given us. Assured, do this. All the problems in entire existence reduced to one day. 200 meters headlight, one day. Design your day properly. From the time you wake up, Brahma Muhurta, wake up. At least, start your practice by 5 a.m., 4:35 in your homes. And then go on. You design in your own way, in your own timetable, whatever you have to do. But don't sit late. The biggest maya is sleeping late. And the biggest maya is television. If any of you are still seeing television, except news or something, you are living in the material world, you need to know something. But all this useless serial, girial, your life itself is complicated. Why you want to see other people's lives? Some serial you get attached to. Some stupid fellow's mind, he's figured out something, he had no other work, you want to earn some money, he created a story, and then you are paying your life and sitting and watching. What will happen next? What will happen next? These are all just feeding your emotions. This is big maya. Why don't you read what will happen next, Gajendra? What will happen next? What will happen next? You read all this incarnation, all these leelas of the Lord. You read. Whatever anxiety you have, whatever ananda you're getting in that rasa, suspense, this thing, you put that suspense here, you read here. What happens? So what you should do is that. What you should not do, I am telling now. This present day maya, television. Spiritual life doesn't go with that. If you think grrr, you can chant and watch television, nowhere you reach. I have seen sometimes some congregation, bead bag in the hand, television on, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Beads also moving. Multitasking. It doesn't work like that. You can't buy your way back to Godhead so cheaply. Some price you have to pay for the ticket to go to Vaikuntha. Some price. And what is that price? Give your attention fully. So, the form, now coming to the conclusion. First understand, if you are a Vaishnava, when do you become a Vaishnava? Vaishnava means you have understood Vishnu, at least a principle. That means there is a tattva, there is a form which is not of Panchabhuta. Vishnu is in my heart, I cannot see him because I am stuck with Panchabhuta thinking, Panchabhuta form. In my own heart, non-Panchabhuta, Satchidananda Vigraha, Satchidananda form of Paramatma is there, I cannot see. And the scriptures say, I also have a form like that. I cannot see, it's in the seed form. I am in this illusory world. So, relating with the Paramatma, non-material form, Arupa Rupi, non-material form. Seeing the beautiful, and that Lord, because he is not material form, please hear clearly what I am saying now. Because he has got a Satchidananda non-material form, a form not of Panchabhuta, because our eyes are all of Panchabhuta now, we cannot see the spiritual form. At the same time, we want to serve the Lord. The omnipotent Lord, he comes as Archa Vigraha. Vishnu kindly takes the form of the deity in the temple. Takes the deity, form of the deity. He is omnipotent. For him there is no difference between Panchabhuta and everything is his. Everything is spiritual. Krishna doesn't come under the influence of three gunas by accepting a form. In a way in which I can see only material form. So the Lord comes and stands, receives our worship. You see, first you understand, I am not this body, I'm supposed to spirit, I have a spiritual form. And the Lord has a spiritual form. And I want to express my devotion to my Lord. Just like you say, okay, oh, Lord is in everybody's heart. Oh, the Lord is so kind, so nice. He is taking care of everything. He is my Supreme Father. You feel for Him. And then you will say, oh, can I offer one flower to you? In the mind, you can offer one flower. But can I have a real flower can I offer? Can I get that feeling I actually offered a flower to you, my Lord? Lord said, yes, I'll come as Archa Vigraha. Just like if I was before you in the spiritual form, you put a garland for me. Same facility I'll give you even in your material condition form. Bring one garland and offer it on my neck. I have received it. Bring me a plate of cooked items. Come and offer it to me. I will receive it. See how this is different from the Mayavadi's understanding. You are giving power to the deity. There is nothing in the deity. It's only stone. Completely different. Therefore, it is said that you have to be very, very careful in hearing even Krishna Katha from people who do not believe in the existence of Krishna. Bhagavat Katha. Sometimes you go impersonalist. Bhagavat Katha they give. No, you should not hear. It is like the milk touched by the serpent. Even bhajans you should not go, where people are not Vaishnavas. Because their idea, the whole idea is bhajan is meant for concentrating your mind. You may not have well read about all these things, but please believe us. Prabhupada has taught us what is their philosophy also. You don't have to read their philosophy. Just like every opportunity, Prabhupada, he clarifies. Just like here he has clarified about how the impersonalists, how can the impersonalists say this? How can the impersonalists say when there is, Sukadeva Goswami is describing the ornaments, the flowers, the clothing and all other decorations on the transcendental body of the personality of Godhead are identical with the body of the Lord. Yeah, this point I didn't touch. The ornament, the cloth on the Lord is not Panchabhuta. They are all different personalities. The ring of the Lord is another personality. He is enjoying being the ring of the Lord. The jewel on the Lord is another Atma. The bangles are different souls. There is no matter there. They are only spirit. They are all serving the Lord. The Lord's chakra is another entity. Lord's gada is another entity. Lord Shankha is another entity. The Lord's flute is another entity. It is not matter. So everything about him is Satchidananda. These are all secrets revealed in Bhagavatam. That's why this is the highest Purana. You cannot understand by your mental speculation, you cannot understand. You have to have faith in what Prabhupada said and then you understand all these things. Because our brain and mind is tiny, how can you find God? Just see, without the help of God himself, if you try to find God, not possible. It will become like Russell. Nothing. No gain at all. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Bhagavatam, Shrama eva hi kevalam. That means what you are left with only Shrama, no result. If you don't follow the process of what the Vaishnava Acharyas have given, what Prabhupada has given, and make our life successful. Any questions? Janma karma chame divyam evam vo viti tattvataha tektva deham. There is no more deha, there is no more punarjanma after we give up this body. For whom? For one who knows janma karma chame divyam. This is exactly what I said. It is divyam, it's transcendental. When Krishna appeared 5,000 years back, he enacted his leelas. As I said, God has address, God has activities. And God has activities. What are his activities in this world? His incarnations are his activities in this world. So therefore, by hearing his incarnations in this world, Bhagavatam is full of the activities of the Lord in this world, the history of the Lord in this world. Not that, the Lord is only in Vaikuntha. No! 5,000 years back he came, he did his activities. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he did his activities. So to hear his activity, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, karma, his activities in this material world, it should be understood to be transcendental. It is not material activity. His form is not made up of Panchabhuta, three gunas. His activity is not of three gunas. His janma is not of three gunas. Janma, karma, chame, divyam. His rupa is not material. And this, if you understand, and this in the material world, here, 5,000 years back, Krishna was here. And very important thing, another thing that fascinated me after reading Prabhupada's book was is Krishna's incarnation. Everything that Prabhupada said, God is limitless. Krishna proved, Krishna exhibited, enacted in the material world. Krishna took 16,000 forms, 16,108 queens. 16,108 forms. See? His form, Anadim, unlimited. Can an ordinary person do that? Of course, Shastras say, of course, we are all very fallen in Kali Yuga. Big yogis can take 8 forms. They can be in 8 different places. But it is said, those 8 or some number is there. But they cannot do independent activity. In one he raises a hand, everybody has to raise a hand. What is the use of being a yogi like that? Krishna, 16,000 queen, 16,000 different activities every moment, uniquely with each of his wives. Very hard. It's fact. On this earth, Krishna enacted this pastime on this earth. And all of us had full faith in these leelas. It actually happened on the earth. Till the Britishers came and they put this faithlessness in our head. Hey, these are all mythologies. Even now, big Indian scholars, when they talk about, see, we have to do something to preserve the Indian mythology. What do you mean Indian mythology? It's a myth. The Westerners put the stamp, this is a myth. Myth means story. Not Krishna was here and all. It's a story. Yasadeva wrote all this. It's a story. Somebody has written all this. Not that Krishna was here. But even today, Vrindavan is there. Dwaraka is there. Pastimes are there. Even archaeologists have found out Dwaraka is under the sea. The ruins of Dwaraka is under the sea. So much evidence is there. So the westernization, Western culture, and we are all westernized. Even if you are not, if you think you are not westernized, I won't agree. You are all westernized. We are all westernized. Why? Because we have all gone through the westernized education system. Britishers introduced this westernization through education system. Today what exists in India is a Western education system and not our original education system. Vedic origin. Vedic educational system is different. You will learn different things. So this Western influence on our, see how on a mass scale we have been brainwashed to not to believe in our own Shastras. Even big pandits, scholars, PhD, they think it is mythology. So sad. Only people, Vaishnava Acharyas, they fight, they establish, they say, yes, even now you can relate bhakti with the Lord in your heart. He is there. It is not some mythology. Any other question? Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.